Hey everybody, we are live after having a few little technical snafus. The computer that I normally run the show on decided to crash at the last minute. So looks like I've got to either do some repairs or look into buying a new computer. Yuck. Anyway, with me today, Bill said that he could not come today because he had an appointment snafu. So with me is Ron Snayberger. Hi, Ron.
Hi, Arizona. Hi, everybody out there.
How are you today?
Everybody's having a good day.
How's your day going so far today?
I'm doing great.
Good. That's wonderful to hear. Okay, so last time we left off with, I think I had asked you to write a blog post, which you did, and it was beautifully written. I love it. And I got it up there so we could play around with how exactly we want your front page to look. I wanted to have some content in there. So I'm going to shut my camera off and go to screen share. And I had this all set up nice and pretty on my other computer, but we'll have to work it this way now. So I have way too many windows, but woohoo, there we go. I hit the right one. Here is how you look right now. Now I went ahead and added a background color, which we can change. We've got the header in here. And last time, remember, we were playing around. I was showing you the tabs and as well as just a regular content box.
Yep.
So it looks pretty ick right now. If you go in and you click and look at a story, it looks pretty good though. I like that.
Yeah, I do too. I think it looks nice.
So let's go back to homepage though, because this is a page that just isn't quite there yet. So we're going to go up into Headway and we're going to go to Visual Editor. And we can either go to Grid or Design, either one. I'm going to go ahead and go to Grid. I'll show you what design is for later. And out there in the audience with us today, if you have any questions, we do have Comment Tracker running. I think both Ron and I are trying to monitor that. So let us know. And this tab blocks just doesn't work on this front page. So let's go ahead and remember I told you last time we can move them around. We can go right click and this gives us all the options that we can do with the block. And what I want to do is just go ahead and delete it. And it's going to say, are you sure you want to? And yes, I am. So, and then I'm going to stretch this out probably about this far. And this is our content block. So if we save this and view it now, maybe today, now you can see it's stretching across like it should. And that's done from this wire block. So now what is actually displaying? Do you want it to display the way it is? And we're going to right click and open the block options. And I have it set in query mode as default behavior. That means it's just pulling your post, which is what we want it to do right now. And when we go to display, however, I want to maybe not show the entry. I just want to show the excerpt. And
what does it mean when it says show entry and show excerpts?
Well, the show entry, and this is one I'm not really sure about. I know that if we only wanted to display comments on the box, maybe site title and the comments that go with it, we would not check this.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure I want to to check and see what this does. I want to get it to where it only shows the excerpt on the front page.
Okay.
So let's hit save and refresh. And see right here, yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Oops, wrong one. So we do want to show the entry. But what it is showing is the excerpts. So show normal would show it in full, just like if you went to the blog post page itself.
Okay.
Show excerpts only shows the excerpts, which is either the first like 250 characters or the first 250 words, or a special excerpt that you type in, which is what I did.
Okay.
Or you can just hide it altogether, and I'm not sure why you would want to do that yet. I told you, I'm learning this framework right along with y'all. The comment visibility automatic means it's going to go with whatever the default is set at, or you can always hide or always show. So we're going to leave it with the default. And the older and newer post navigation, that's where you get the arrows that say go to older post or go to newer post. And I pretty much think you always want to show that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll look at this again. Display. Now let's say show featured images in the left. I'm going to show you how to change that also. But let's say you want to change how this behaves. So then we go to a custom query, and all of a sudden everything changes here.
I see that, yeah.
Yeah. So now you can choose to fetch a page content if you have a page, or you can fetch by category. So we only have uncategorized, but if you have multiple categories, you could just fetch from one category here. Include or exclude the category mode. You can fetch by author, by post type, which would be media. You can actually add post types, so you can have video, slideshows, galleries, whatever on your post types. And then you choose how many you want. And the display is pretty much the same as the last one. But here I want to enable, let's say 3 posts per row, because that's pretty wide.
Okay.
And now when we look at it, you have your big one, and then you have 2, and we would have a third one here if we had a third one.
I got you. Yep.
So now the other block that is interesting, so if we go to open block options and switch block type, is the Pinboard.
And you said last week that's more like a Pinterest post.
It is, yeah, if we save this now, it sets it up just like Pinterest, which is really cool. Voila.
Ah.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
I like this. Now, what are we going to do with this bit over here? Here is where we could add things. Let's go ahead and draw something in here. So we can add. And you could add a widget area, which is very common to add over on the side.
Okay.
Or you could add your social media, your social icons up here.
Like for Facebook and Google Plus and.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or you could add a navigation here. a menu that would, take people further inside as you get more stuff built.
Okay.
Actually, you can add anything you want. It's really cool. But for right now, I think maybe add a widget area. And it tells you to go to Appearance and Widgets, which is pretty much where you normally would assign your widgets. So, oh, duh. I forgot to save it. So you click Save. And now I have to refresh this because right here is where it's supposed to show up. Ah, there we go. So here's our widget area. And I'm trying to find something. Let's just do recent post up here. And this isn't recent global post. This is just from your site.
Oh, okay.
And now when we go look, it should just show the titles of the three. There we go.
Oh, okay.
And we can go in and format that and whatever on another show.
I got you. Okay. It's starting to go together and all starting to make sense now with, what you can do with this, and one step at a time, and it all falls together.
Yeah, it's the power that this gives you is just incredible. Let's say that you had categories. So you had maybe art stories as a category, and then you had inspirations as a category.
Mm-hmm.
You could actually go into and set it up to where every post in that category over here showed other posts from that category only.
Mm-hmm. Like on that, the wine glasses and the wine bottle, I could kind of write a story for that would go with that, and then the one with me engraving, I could write a little story about that, where it was, and put that in there also.
Right, and all of those could be in a category like art stories or stories about my art. And then when you actually go out to that category, or you're looking at one of the stories within that category, this sidebar could be set up to where it only showed other stories from that category.
Okay.
And then if you were to do an inspiration category, the sidebar would only show stories from inspirations.
I see. Okay. Now, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. So, I mean, this is definitely taken shape, I think. What do you think?
I think, well, first of all the work we did in the header, I like it, and the setup the way it is here, that is kind of neat. I think that really looks nice.
I think it looks really professional. I really like it. I did want to talk about this one site that I use all the time in choosing my color schemes.
Okay.
Okay, so you kind of chose you wanted blue and you wanted brown.
Yeah.
Well, I took this color brown, to choose this blue. I chose this color brown, and I went to this site called Paletton.com or paletteon.com. Oh, come on. I wanted to. And I typed in our beginning color, which was the brown, which was like this brown here. And actually it was, is that true? Yeah. And then through here, I could choose different ways of messing with it. So I guess I just flipped over to the blue that we're using. So you can click here and just get a triad, which is 3 colors that work together. This is a different way of looking at it. This is with complement colors and without. So you got triad 3 and triad 4.
Mm-hmm. So basically, this is like a digital color wheel.
Yeah, except it shows you, yeah, it's awesome because it shows you all the color schemes that could go together. It's like if we wanted to change this to F white, it would show, which should be anything, but it's keeping it black and white. That's interesting. So yeah, it's a very interesting setup. I love it. And that is paleton.com. And on that note, I'm going to come back. Hey.
There you are. Now on that paleton.com, you can kind of have that running while you're working on your site and change, kind of match up colors and change them around.
Definitely, you can. It's just runs in your browser. So you just go to paleton.com. So you can have, as you can see on mine, you can have a ton of tabs open at the same time. When I'm doing a site and I'm, just 100% that's got my focus, I have generally the site open, the Headway theme open, the visual editor or the grid editor, either one. Mm-hmm. So I have those 2 windows, and generally I have another window that goes into the dashboard. So generally I have 3 tabs open, and it would be no big deal to add that 4th one on and have palette on going at the same time while you're playing with colors.
That's interesting.
I just love it. So, and go ahead.
I was going to say that really, it makes it visual how you can put the colors together and you get to see exactly what it looks like.
Yeah. For me, I can say, well, green and purple go together, but there are so many shades, and which shades are kind of getting the point that I want to get across. Like a bright purple and a bright green would likely turn people off. Whereas if you were to mute the shades a little bit, it makes it more warm and inviting. Yeah.
Now, does that work if you have like a color code from like these companies that have their colors and they have a code for? Can you put that code in Paleton and it'll match that color exactly?
Yeah, let me show you again. Let me turn my camera off and go back out to screen share. So if I go in here and I don't have a color in mind, but let's say you have a color from a company and it's D33. I have no idea what color this is, by the way, guys. Mm-hmm. But let's say this is the color they gave you. It most likely they would give it to you with a hashtag in front. But you want to take that off. You just want to put in the code.
Okay.
And then you click OK. Oh, that was a red. I guess. Wow. But you can put it in here. Or you can put it in by hue, which is a number from 0 to 360.
Okay, I lost you. Hold on a second. Okay, now I'm back.
Okay, so you can put it in also by hue, which is a degree number between 0 and 360. So I put in 90 and hit enter, and that's a gold hue, a goldish color hue.
I just got a comment here. David, I hope I pronounced this right. Odenaya, I'm just joining you guys here, just trying to get what you guys are discussing. Okay.
Hey, well, you missed the. I'm going to highly suggest that you go back and watch it in Replay City. You missed the today's Visions website setup that we did, which is working with WordPress and Headway theme. Now we're just talking about Paladin and choosing colors and that type of stuff. And we're going to go on and talk about our blogging voice in here in just a minute.
Okay.
So did you have any other questions about how this works?
No, that's fascinating. I'm happy to know about that.
I love it. I absolutely love it. So, and I am back. David, a content block is a block inside the website that holds a particular type content, like your post or page content, etc. So now let's talk about our blogging voice. And Ron, this topic is totally your fault. You totally inspired it. You wrote, I mean, your blog is basically the letter that you wrote to Amy, correct?
Correct.
You want to tell us a little bit about it?
Well, it's basically it goes back years ago when I was building a Bible boxes for a 9-day show based upon the Pennsylvania German heritage in Kutztown, Pennsylvania. And I had some boxes left over, and I wanted to try a new technique on the lid and by doing some inlay work. And I totally messed up the design. So instead of throwing the box away, I saved it, came on our move to Florida, and I found it in the garage when I was unpacking things. And what am I going to do with this? Well, since that time, I had this engraving tool, the power pen I used to engrave. And I figured, okay, I can use this to enhance this and fix the mistakes. And I figured, well, what do I want to do with this? And then I knew Amy, our next door neighbor, her 18th birthday was coming up. So I talked to her mom and I said, I'm going to make a jewelry box out of this for Amy. And so the story is I fixed the design. I added some more designs, put her initials on the front, put red flocking on the inside, put her favorite quote on the mirror, put that on the lid. And then I wrote about all the design features from the Pennsylvania Dutch heritage, what they all meant. And I also included her quote and talked about that, included one of my favorite quotes, and basically told her that she can do whatever her heart desires. And so that was the basis of the letter, long and short of it. It's a good read, really. I'm really proud of the letter.
No, it's a great read. And I felt, as far as the background knowledge on the Pennsylvania Dutch folk art was just, really impressive. But, basically my point is that you wrote, your blog post is an actual letter to a person, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So it was written, one-on-one. When you're trying to find your voice, when you're not really sure how you want to write, the best thing to do is exactly what you did. Write one-to-one. Now, how are you going to do that? Because who are you writing to? And for that, you need to define your audience. Now, when we talk about defining an audience like we do on Tom Coleman's show, the OTS show, we're talking about, my average reader is between 25 and 40. Can be either male or female, yada, yada, yada. Well, we need to narrow that down to one person.
Okay.
So you're going to ask yourself questions like, is my reader male or female?
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to say female. Okay. All right. So then you're going to go, what
Hang on, folks. If I'm still on, we lost Arizona again. She'll be back in a minute, I'm sure.
Does she have free time? No, not really. And if she does have free time, what does she do with it? Well, she doesn't really have any, and that's kind of what she's trying to strive for. So what is this reader's biggest challenge? Well, I just said she didn't have any free time. That's her biggest challenge. And you see how these things kind of roll into each other and work
I don't know
together.
if everybody else did Arizona, but we lost you there for a few seconds.
Uh-oh. Ooh, okay,
Right,
so
right after you got done talking about that we were going to discuss that that was a female that I would be, writing to, and then shortly after that, you went off the screen and until just a few seconds ago.
oh wow. Wow. I'm sorry for the glitch. So we talked about you got female and age, is that correct?
Well, yeah, okay.
Okay, so and did you hear me say give her a name?
No.
Okay, so yeah, give the reader that you're defining a name.
Okay.
And I'm serious about this. Really give her a name.
I'm taking notes here. Yep.
And what is your reader's age? So yeah, I think we said 46. Marital status. Does your reader have kids? Excuse me. Does she have free time? And if so, what does she do with it? So what are her hobbies? So I'm getting back to mine. Mine's 46. She's married with no kids who live at home, but she still doesn't have any free time. She kind of thought she would, but she doesn't. So what is a reader's biggest challenge in life? Finding time to do the things she wants to. What are her goals and desires? So you're starting to develop a picture of your ideal reader, and that's who you want to write to. Now,
hold on for just a second. Dave says he can see me. I don't know if he can. If you're back on, Dave, can you send a comment? Is Arizona? Can you see Arizona again, or just me?
it's really weird the way that happened.
Dave said he's over in the UK, which is nice. Okay.
Yeah, it is nice.
I guess maybe you could just keep going on, and we'll wait till we hear from Dave.
Well, I'm just about done with that.
Okay.
So when you're writing your blog post, you're going to write to this specific person that you've designed as your ideal reader for your subject.
Mm-hmm.
And your ideal reader can change subject to subject, or he or she may stay the same. And, this is totally different than your marketing scheme. So I don't want you to get the two crossed up. Because when you're defining your audience may be 20 to 40.
Well, I'm thinking here, like, when I post quotes on Google Plus, I kind of know that audience, and it's more of a, they're more in that, I'd say 30 and older group for the inspirational and motivational things. So these different categories on my site, if one's inspirational and that's my audience there, I can have a character that I'm talking to about that part. But if something else on my site, another category, is a different age group, I would direct everything in that category to that age group. So I could actually have different age categories for for the different things that I'm posting.
Right.
So
And
I could have different characters that I'm talking to.
Exactly.
Okay, and now I'm following. Okay, makes sense.
Okay, and the reason that you're in your mind when you're writing your blog post, the reason you're streamlining this down to one person is because we find our most natural voice when we're writing a letter to somebody. So when we're saying, dear Amy, here's how I came about this box for you. That's our voice, more natural than anything else. And that's what people are wanting to hear. They want, when they're out on blog posts, they want to hear who you are. They want you to be transparent.
I got you.
So that's a long and short. We went over setting up a content box for a blog post, display on the front page, and we set up a widget. Next week, Ron, I'm going to give you homework of having another blog post ready.
Okay.
And you can fill in the other two if you want to change those out to different stories if you want. Or you can just delete them.
Well, I'll decide on that, and I'll talk to you before next Thursday and see what we want to do.
Okay. And next week, I'm going to actually show everyone how to insert a blog post, how to work with the text editor that comes with WordPress. And I'm not sure what we're going to talk about as far as our blogging bite goes, but I'll think of something. So I hope everybody has a wonderful day. If you have any questions, just reach out to me or Ron, and we will get it answered. Thanks.
Absolutely. Bye. Bye.